Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Leila, the Lenormand reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. Download your starter guide to get started and to discover this amazing deck. Welcome to our new monthly forecast. We are doing October today. We are almost at the end of the year. It's always exciting at this time because I start to think about the upcoming forecasts. Let's start with you, Aries. We have your 3 cards from your astro clock for the month of October, and we have the beautiful star in the middle. The star is a card of wish fulfillment and healing, and it is all around success really in any area. We have the lily and dog. This can point to a professional connection. It can also point to a long-term relationship and a trustworthy relationship. The lily is sometimes a card of older people, and the dog is often a card of junior. So there can be a really good connection with someone who's older, or perhaps you're the older side of the relationship. But in all cases, broadly speaking, this is great for your life path, your career, and also a friendship or a few of them. So that's pretty broad. We're going to put these cards aside. We're going to draw your 9-card portrait with Titania's deck here, and we're going to see what else we get about these 3 and what other messages we get for your month. Okay, Aries, here is your portrait, and we do have some challenging cards in your portrait, which tells us that the star and the astro clock cards are going to help you heal certain issues or certain situations with this person here. We have quite a few overlap cards. We have the dog and lily in both, and so this highlights this relationship. Now, the challenging cards are the clouds, the bird potentially, and the whip and fox. So the whip is the more challenging one, and clearly there is a disagreement or an argument, and that's probably what heals. What also stands out, Aries, is the bird in the center. The bird is a card of contact and communication, and so it's clear that in order to get past the issues into a better space, it's important to vocalize. Now, we have the clouds here as your cover card, and this comes in contrast with the bird because it sounds like you had been keeping your thoughts to yourself and you'd been maybe stressing about them. But the bird and dog certainly encourage you to have a conversation with this person. The tower with the bird and fox can represent someone at work. The lily supported that. The tower is a card of official things, people, places, and the fox can be an employee or the context on the job. Now, the fox is also a card of deception, and the fox tends to represent people who are not very nice, a bit selfish, a bit self-interested. So there could have been some concerns and worries and stresses about this person. But again, the line can again suggest that a conversation is due, and the tower can represent someone who's maybe an authority. Possibly we'll see this in the bottom row as well. So the focus is on having a conversation and getting out of your mind. So the clouds with the house and fox here, again, highlighting the issues, the troubles, and the suspicions and doubts that you could have been having with this person. The house is flexible. It is a card of location. It typically represents your home and family. I'm seeing more job cards, you know, the lily twice, the tower and fox, but it can be in other contexts as well. So it's very clear that there have been some tension and some issues in this environment, and it sounds like you hadn't done anything about it, Aries. The fox is also a card of silence, so you could have been just watching and keeping it to yourself and observing. Now, the cross with the bird and whip, this can represent gossip, and it can represent a difficult conversation. I think it's due because of the cross. The cross is a card of having to, and it also highlights the importance of this conversation. Now, it's probably not going to be the easiest conversation. It's probably going to turn into an argument or a disagreement, but it has to be dealt with, Aries. So bring this up. The tower with the lily and dog, this again points to this more professional kind of environment, and the dog can represent this colleague or this person. I have to say this is a neutral line, but it also has an element of calm and steadiness. Both the tower and lily are mature, stable cards, and being in the bottom row, which is often like an outcome or manifest of the situation, it sounds like this can create a more predictable, a more stable situation moving forward, and it aligns really well with the star. The clouds with the cross and tower, This is quite a combination, Aries. It points to things that are quite important, and not just for now, but also for the long term. The cross with the clouds can mean that you had been thinking about what to do about this. It's maybe not an easy decision to have this conversation, but it's pretty clear that it's necessary at this point. The house with the bird and lily, another sign of having this conversation. The lily is again that element of peace and calm. So I do think that things come together. And the fox, whip, and dog certainly is bringing up, the disagreement or the issues here. So I'm not seeing that there's much of a way around this confrontation, Aries, or the disagreement or argument that is probably going to come up, because it's time to bring things out into the open, and your Astro Clock cards, which carry the star, are supportive and reassuring and tells us that things can be healed and move forward peacefully after this conversation. We also saw this in the bottom row. So Aries, it's very clear that you need to have a conversation with someone, and you need to bring things out into the open. They need to be brought up. And it's not the easiest thing, but if you've been sitting on it for a long time or for a while, it's time to deal with it. And once you do, you'll find that you are in a more peaceful state. Now, I said that the cards seem to affect your work more than anything else. So in terms of work, it's possible that you let go of a person. You could also be the one who hires and fires. And maybe here we're looking at someone whom you need to deal with. It could be an issue with a colleague, potentially with a boss, although I think if it's going to be a boss, I think it's probably the boss who's going to support with moving past this. In terms of personal relationships, I think things can move forward more or less positively, but something needs to come out. And this personal relationship can be, again, different contexts, whether it's a friend, family, or someone else. Now, there is one thing that comes up as well that I feel could come up is the area of health. And that's because the lily can be a card of health. We see it twice. We have a healing card like the star. And you could have been concerned about a certain health situation. In this context, Aries, I have to wonder that maybe you need to get a second opinion. Maybe the person you had been working with hasn't been as good as you would like, and you need a second opinion. So it might be time for a conversation around this, to make changes or to bring up your concerns and take some tangible steps. So a bit of a bumpy month. Again, the focus is on solutions, Aries, and on vocalizing the concern so that you can get to the bottom of it. And keep in mind your star, which brings a lot of healing potential. So do your part to make this happen so you overcome it and find yourself in a better situation. Very best of luck with this, Aries. Let me know how you feel about this. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your monthly forecast. We are in October, and I have your October cards from your Astro Clock. We've got the child, the dog, and the bear. And the child is a card of new beginnings, Taurus, and the dog can represent a friend, and the bear is something important. So it sounds like this is a new friendship, a new relationship, or a new venture that is significant and probably comes through the help of someone. Now, this can apply in different contexts, but in the context of work, for example, there is often a contrast between the dog and bear, where the dog represents a junior and the bear represents a senior or someone older. So when we see these two together, there could be this new relationship between you and that person. You could be either side of the relationship. But what also comes through, Taurus, is the idea that you could be moving into a project or a path that is going to help you grow. So this is quite interesting, and it's more or less neutral, but I do think that it's also exciting. Let's put them aside. Let's draw your 9 cards and see what else we get about these 3 and other insights for your month. Okay, Taurus, here is your portrait. As you can see, we've got the child as well. The child as your cover card, really highlighting the idea of a new beginning. And we have some really positive cards in here, the sun especially and the star. The anchor in the middle is also great, and we also have the tree. We do have a couple of challenging cards here, the mouse and snake along with the cross. which can be challenging. And this is going to suggest the need to be careful moving forward. So definitely with the Child and Anchor, there is an encouragement for you to step into this new beginning. And I have to say that the Bear is strong like the Anchor, and to an extent the Tree. They are solid cards. So they really encourage you to have confidence and to move into this new beginning. We have the Cross here, which suggests something important. It could also mean that you need to make a decision about it, and that you need to sort of, bear the path forward, take on this new venture or this new step. Now, the Mouse with the Anchor and Tree is also very supportive, because the Mouse is not very challenging. It's just a little bit difficult. It points to little problems, issues here and there. But the Anchor and Tree definitely overcome this. And the Anchor and Tree very much supports a sense of stability and strength. And in the context of this new beginning, to step into it. Generally, the Anchor and Tree are cards that are stable and unmoving. But with the Child, there's definitely a sense of having confidence in this new start. The Mouse can also represent some problems or issues. I'm thinking also doubts and hesitation that you are going to overcome. The Child with the Sun entry is beautiful. This is a wonderful new beginning that blooms into something very bright and successful. And it is another encouragement to move ahead with this new beginning, for sure. There's no two ways around this, Taurus. The Garden with the Anchor and Star is lovely. Here we have a card that tells us of location and places and people and environments. And with the Anchor and Star, it's very clear that you anchor yourself in it. Probably this is the place where you're going to go into, as we see it T crosses this column on the left. And sticking with it or growing in it is definitely going to lead to success. The Star is a lovely card. Like we said, the bottom row is the challenging row. We have both the Mouse and Snake together along with the Cross. So there can be some challenges here. And I'm thinking it could be in terms of people, because we have the Mouse with the Garden here on this side. But it also works out. So regardless of the challenges, it's pretty clear that you're going to overcome them. Still, it pays to be cautious. It pays to be careful. These challenges, sort them. And also, I would say, keep them to yourself. And when it comes to people or other situations around you, I'd also be careful, Taurus. So keep things to yourself a little bit. And when it comes to your changes and your moves, I feel that there are some things you need to keep to yourself. The Child with the Garden and Mouse points to the little problems that we saw with the Garden. But again, the Garden T crosses the middle row and it ends up with the Star. So you're going to easily overcome this. The Sun with the Anchor and Snake is quite a supportive combination. You might be prone to let go of something or to give up too quickly on something, Taurus, on this change or certain aspects of it. But I suggest that you don't. The Anchor and Snake very much tells you to give this a chance, to focus on the outcomes you're after, and also to be discreet as you navigate this change, this new beginning, or this new environment. The Tree, Star, and Cross is a very positive line. It's as bright as the top row. We have both the Tree and Star. This definitely leads to success and growth, and the Cross points to important things materializing for you. So yes, the Cross can be a bit challenging, but it also has bright aspects. And when we see it with cards like the Star and Tree, they definitely point to ambition and matters of destiny even that are unfolding for you. So this is quite a powerful start for you, Taurus. You definitely want to move into this and take advantage of this change. Establish yourself in this new environment, grow in the directions that you want to grow, just like we saw with the Astro Clock cards. And the things that are challenging that comes with this, in terms of the transition itself, the circumstances, or the people, you definitely want to put this in perspective. Don't let anything dissuade you. Just, focus on your goals and give it a bit of time, I would say, as well. And you'll find that it blooms into what you're after. Now, I have to say, Taurus, that the cards are quite flexible in terms of context. We don't see work cards. People cards, not so much. We have the Dog and Garden. These can be, more general kind of connections. and we're not really seeing the personal one-on-one. We're not seeing home, family. So the cards are really flexible in terms of the context where this figures, or perhaps it applies to your life as a whole. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Taurus. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Gemini, welcome to your October forecast. We have your October cards from your Astro Clock, and they're a little bit challenging here. We have the tree, mouse, and clouds. The mouse and clouds point to challenges and also mental type of challenges like stress and tension. And when I see it with the tree, I think that there could be something that is delayed or taking time because the tree is slower and it unfolds more gradually. So there can be challenges with progress and moving forward, and you could find that things are slower than you would like. You could also be having some doubts around how things are moving forward, the direction that they're taking. And maybe it's also a good time for you, Gemini, to take a step back and think about things. The tree is certainly very good with this, and the clouds being a card of thoughts and the mind. It's a good idea to take a step back and to think about the challenges that you're going through right now. And they can happen in different contexts. We don't really see this from the cards. Let's put them aside and let's draw the portrait cards and see if there's a specific area that comes up, or if we get other insights for your month. Okay, Gemini, here is your portrait. It's certainly aligned in a lot of ways with the Astro Clock cards. We have the tree in both, and we have a very powerful combination for change, the scythe and coffin. Now, this is a combination of endings in a very certain way. We also have the road, which is a card of change, and it seems to me that you need to make changes and maybe you're not really inclined to, like you're feeling a bit stuck, but it sounds like you need to break away from this. We also have a relationship that comes up in the cards. This is looking neutral, more on the positive side, so it sounds like this is going to support you in a positive way. Now, the scythe is your cover card, and the scythe is a card of sharpness and suddenness. It is also the card of severance and cutting and separation. And when we see it with the anchor, and then we see the road on the other side of the anchor, it's definitely a message, Gemini, that you need to break free and you need to do things differently. Now, the dog with the anchor and flowers is lovely for a relationship. So this is where we see it ties into the dog in the bottom row. The bottom row is neutral, but the flowers is certainly bright. There is an element of renewal here in your connection. It is a very supportive connection. There's a lot of trust and like confidence in the relationship. So this is going to prove to be supportive. Now, the top row here, this is quite an interesting set of cards. The scythe and coffin is definitely a combination for an ending. This is the combination that people read as a death combination. Of course, I don't really see it this way. 2 cards is too few for something so specific. And also, what is the chances of that happening? The flowers is a card of renewal and happiness. So it seems to me that when you let go, Gemini, you're going to find a sense of optimism and enthusiasm again, which is a really good message. So let go of what is in your way. It is holding you back and you don't want to be held back. So when you release yourself from this, when you wrap something up, you will find this element of freedom and renewal. The tree, anchor, and house is very much about stability and staying put. You're definitely on the right track. So this can potentially seem like a contradiction with the top row, but actually it is what helps you continue on building the right stuff and on being productive and working towards your goals. They're also really good cards for staying home and going within, just like we saw with the Astro Clock cards. And also creating healthy boundaries is very much key through this combination. So these are some really good cards for creating something solid and for having confidence and a sense of strength across the board, but also in your spaces. The dog, woman, and road is nice for a relationship. This line is more on the neutral side, but we saw positive messages elsewhere. So you continue with this relationship and it ties into the anchor we saw in the second diagonal. Now, how this relationship figures in other aspects of your life, it's flexible, Gemini. It depends really on your situation. You let me know in the comments. But she could also be someone who supports you with the changes. I'm also suspecting, Gemini, that you need to get some things out of the way to focus on this relationship, or maybe you are wrapping something up in the relationship and able to move to the next objective. So the scythe, tree, and dog is very much about doing things differently. The scythe and tree is about uprooting, changes, deeper changes. And with the dog, this could be in relation to a relationship, but because the relationship is positive, I feel that this person helps you make the change, and it's really making these changes that enable you to embrace what's next. And it sounds like what is next involves this positive relationship. Now, the coffin with the anchor and woman here, I'm seeing that you could be wrapping something up, Gemini, wrapping up a project or completing something, a task or some kind of project that you were involved in. And it's pretty clear to me that it's going to be successful because we saw the flowers in the top row. And we saw this in the diagonal. We're going to see it here, and we saw it with the top row. So it sounds like you are working towards completing certain goals, and these are going to free you up for the next phase. They support your connections. You're either doing this with someone or for someone. So these are really nice cards for success. And the flowers with the house and road is a renewal, maybe reconnecting with someone like we saw in the diagonal, and really taking the relationship from there, or the next phase from there. And we saw this in the bottom line as well. So these are really nice cards, Gemini. I mean, they look a little bit off, or they don't look too exciting. But when you put them together, it's pretty clear that you are working towards completing something, and it's going to work out really nicely. It's going to free you up. It's going to be positive with the people involved, and you're able to move on to the next phase. And all of it is like happening on the right track, in the right context, the right situations. We did see the mouse and clouds in your astro clock cards, and these are a little bit challenging, but it seems to me that what you want to do, Gemini, is bear with this a bit longer until you see it through. And you're going to be happy you did that, because you're soon at the end of it. And when you wrap this up, it's going to give you a lot of momentum to move forward. So there's a lot of hopefulness that can come through. Just remain disciplined a while longer. Do what you need to do, Gemini, to wrap things up. And you find that you will. And you could establish yourself, or this person establishes herself. You have a connection with her, and there's a really good, there's a really positive conclusion here. So really nice cards overall. One thing I want to add, Gemini, is that the cards can apply in different contexts. It could be a family thing because of the house. So here there's a supportive connection and things work out. You're able to wrap something up. They could take time, but you're at the tail end of this. And once they do, it's like there's a new sense of, there's a new page, and there's a sense of being established. Same ideas can apply at work. At work, I feel that you're wrapping up projects, and you're sort of between clients or customers, or projects that you're doing with certain people, and you're working through things successfully. There is a bit of a drag. There are some challenges, but you're on top of this, and you're soon going to get past them. So keep working on this, Gemini. Very best of luck with it until you see it through. Thank you as always for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your astro clock cards for the month of October. We have the ring, child, and snake. Now, this is an interesting triplet. The snake is typically a bit challenging. It's a toxic card that points to deception, but it's not always like that. Now, the ring and child points to a new relationship or a new commitment or involvement. And the snake can mean that you turn away from it, or that you move ahead with it, but quietly. So it can sort of depend on how you deal with this new beginning. In general, whether you're moving away or moving ahead with it, the snake is often a card of silence. And so caution and discretion are called for. So take these steps carefully and cautiously. So we are going to put these cards aside, Cancer. We're going to read your portrait cards, see what else we get about these three, and what other insights we get for your month. Okay, Cancer, here is your portrait. It's looking generally positive because there are some really good opportunities. So it sounds like this is something you're going to go for. We have the flowers mainly, and the fish is great for money. We do have the clouds, which is a little bit challenging. And so this can align with the snake. We have the ring in both cards, and in the portrait, we have a relationship. So that could be part of what's going on. But we also have some very clear work, money, and business cards. Something else that stands out is we have the mountain. Now, the mountain, I'll pull those up a bit. The mountain is a card of travel and distance. And on top of this, we have the ship. So it is possible, Cancer, that you travel or you're going somewhere. And, that's part of the decision or part of the, the plan. And it could be adding some complications or, the need to be cautious like we see with the snake and also with the clouds. Now, the lily as the top card covers you. And this tells us that this new beginning can affect your life in a bigger way. The lily is also a card of career and work, and with the fish and ship, we can also see this supported. So with the mountain and ring, you could be considering a life abroad or connecting over the longer term with someone or something abroad. You have connections there. You could be invested in them for the longer term. The moon with the mountain and ship suggests an invitation or at least some exploring that you're going to do in this location. And so you may well travel this month. If you can, Cancer, the cards are supportive. The lily, fish, and ship are great for work, money, and business. You could be traveling on business, but if not, they're still really good for being productive and for getting really good results here. So the money thing could be quite positive. The flowers with the mountain and clouds suggest some exciting prospects for you in this location. Yes, we have the clouds. It can bring some complications, but I do think that you want to figure them out because the opportunities are quite positive. The moon with the man and ring. This is lovely for a relationship, Cancer. This supports a positive connection with this person. He could be the one who offers you, who makes this offer or who invites you to travel or the person you're connecting with. The lily, flowers, and moon is great. This is also great for creativity. So this could be quite an exciting project and relationship. And again, we're seeing the fish and man on either side of the mountain, T-crossing the bottom row. So there's a pretty good chance that this is the person who is involved with your travel, with the business opportunity and other opportunities that come through here. The ship with the clouds and ring are also bright in terms of really pulling you through into exploring this connection. And the ship is a travel card. Again, the clouds is a little bit challenging. So there could be some bumpy aspects or some challenges that you need to work out, Cancer, but I don't think these are going to be deterring you in any way. In the very least, you want to plan things out and think about, how you're going to get involved. Think about this relationship. And it sounds like you're going to move ahead. These are some really bright cards that bring a lot of opportunity, creativity, prospects for travel. They're good for a relationship. So it could be quite busy. Now, again, in your astro clock cards, the cards with the snake are a little bit more discreet. So maybe what you're doing is you're exploring this option. And also you could be keeping it to yourself, Cancer, until the right time to share with others. But for the opportunity, which we see mainly captured here in the portrait, it's looking quite bright. So do what planning you need to do, figure out any details you need to figure out, and then see how you are able to embrace this opportunity, travel, connect with this person, and engage in this project or this work or this upcoming phase. So really nice cards. Now, I think the idea here is mostly focused on your work, your money, your business, but it can also be in tandem with a romantic relationship because these cards are quite gentle and kind, and it looks like there's a really positive connection here. So maybe you're looking to connect with your person here abroad, and maybe you're figuring things out in terms of work to see how you make it happen, or you're still working through the relationship and the opportunities. In all cases, this is looking promising and it's looking quite busy and exciting, even if it's not very loud. So do what you need to do, Cancer, to embrace this opportunity and see what is ahead. So very best of luck with this lovely month. I hope you resonate with these cards in this way. Let me know how it plays out. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Very best of luck with it. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your October cards from your Astro Clock, and these are some pretty peaceful cards. We have the Ring, Garden, and Tree. This is about good connections and connections that are growing. The Garden is a card of people, places, and really any environment that usually involves quite a few people. So the Ring can suggest your commitment to these people, your involvement with them, and the Garden can also represent a place like work or some other community. The Tree is certainly peaceful. The Ring is quite connected. So it sounds like there are some pretty good relationships here. And it could be in different contexts, Leo. It's not really strictly social or strictly work related. It depends on your circumstances. So we're going to draw your portrait cards with Titania's deck here. We'll put these aside. We'll read more about these three and what else we get for your month. Okay, Leo, here is your portrait, and it's looking really nice and peaceful, just like your Astro Clock cards. We have the tree in both, and we have the house and dog, which works really well with reflecting the Ring and Garden. So both the Garden and house are location cards, and the Ring and dog are relationship cards. And we see the dog in the center, so this can revolve around certain people or a specific person. As your cover card, we have the Rider, which is an active card. It's great for taking initiative. So with the Dog and Moon, it's definitely a good idea, Leo, that you reach out to this person, maybe that you invite them, that you talk to them, or that you create an opportunity to connect with them. And who this person is, like I said, it's quite flexible. The portrait is not really suggesting a theme. It can be someone close to you, maybe home and family, but the house can also represent other contexts like your colleagues at work. So this is definitely a good idea to reach out to someone to see if you can connect with them in order to pursue your objectives, or to just connect with this person. The cross with the dog and anchor is supportive as well. The dog and anchor is about trust and a strong connection. And the cross can be a little bit challenging in the sense that it can suggest something heavy or something that weighs on you. You could have responsibilities towards this person, or maybe you need to work with them through a certain situation. But the cross is also a card that suggests importance and things that are destined to be. So this relationship can be an important one. And in all cases, the anchor certainly suggests that you work with this person or continue to support them or to just connect with them. Now, the Rider, Clover, and Anchor is lighter. It's more lighthearted because the Clover is a happy, fortunate, and lucky card. And with the Anchor, there is definitely a very positive conclusion. And there's definitely some good steps forward. So it sounds like the relationship pays off, or there's progress in whatever it is you are pursuing. The house and mountain on either side of the dog can refer to a location in a different place, like a different country, different city, or abroad. And the dog certainly brings up this relationship. And it could be, like I said, someone, family, someone, a colleague, or someone else in your life. Again, the cards don't really highlight a theme. So you could be contemplating connecting with this person to go there. Maybe you're traveling or reaching out in other ways. The mountain T crosses the right-hand side column, and in here we have both the anchor and mountain. And the anchor and mountain suggests someone who is based abroad, so having like a connection there, a foothold, or some kind of strong established position over there. And with the moon, there's an invite, or there's these really positive energies that we saw in the first diagonal. So again, maybe you're looking at traveling, or you're looking at connecting with that person in that location. The tree, which we have in both sets of cards, is also about growing roots. So it works well with the anchor. So you could be contemplating something like this, Leo. Otherwise, it could be an opportunity for traveling or possibly connecting with someone online. The cross with the tree and moon is a peaceful set of cards. It T crosses with the tree through the middle column, and it certainly suggests that this relationship is growing. and it's evolving, just like we saw in the astro clock cards. And again, the tree has that element of importance. I think you need to bear with it a little bit, Leo. Maybe things are taking a bit more time, or, they have their own process. The rider with the house and cross is an important meeting. Again, the rider as your cover card can mean, Leo, that you need to take initiative to meet with this person. The clover with the dog and tree is a lovely combination here. It is a wonderful relationship. The clover is very lucky. The tree is very positive and healthy. And it looks like this relationship is moving forward very positively. So these are some really nice cards for a relationship, for a friendship, whoever this person is in your life, Leo. But one thing I want to add as well is that the dog can represent you often as someone who is junior or younger in the sense of learning. And so seeing it in these cards can suggest maybe a job or a project, even a customer or something like that. So perhaps you are pursuing growth and you're looking to expand and evolve in certain ways. So this too is possible. But overall, Leo, these are really bright cards. They bring positive messages across any context, especially for this person, this relationship. And travel is possible. Creating a foothold in another location is possible. And in addition to this lovely connection. Again, Leo, the rider as your cover card can mean that you want to take initiative. So reach out and do what you need to do and, explore these opportunities, this relationship, and make it happen. And even if it's a bit slower, you still have the energy and the ambition to do this. So really nice cards, nice for any context. Let me know in what sense you feel they resonate with you, Leo. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Virgo, welcome to your October forecast. We have your Astro Clock cards for the month of October. We have the Whip, which is a challenging card, but with the Tower and Garden here, it can be a reference to releasing the past or letting go of something that had been going on for a while, or a situation that you'd been dealing with for some time. The Garden is often a card of place, and the Tower can also suggest a place, often an official, professional kind of environment, some kind of institution. And so with the Garden, there could be that reference. And with the Whip here, there can be some changes, difficult changes, but also possibly a disagreement and possibly leading to a separation because the Whip is at the end of the line. So there can be a few possibilities here depending on your specific situation, but in general, there needs to be a let go, or the need to bring something up, even if it's a bit challenging. So let's put these cards aside. Let's draw your portrait, see what else we get about these three, and what other insights we have for your month. Okay, Virgo, here is your portrait. We have the beautiful star in the middle, so this is definitely helpful to overcome the challenges that we see here, and also the one we see with the mouse. We also have the Tower in your portrait, which aligns with the one in your Astro Clock cards. And in your portrait, we see a focus on people. Both the dog and woman are people cards. The Garden is a people card, but not one-on-one like these two. So it can be aligned as well. Now, the Mountain is your cover card, and the Mountain can suggest an element of being distant and detached. And it does work a little bit with letting go that we see with the Astro Clock cards. But the Mountain is also a card of being abroad in a different location. We have the Anchor that supports this, and the Tower can suggest a place from the deeper past. So somewhere you grew up in, or, like a little bit more far back than normal. And the thing about the star is that it is a card of healing, and it is also a card of wish fulfillment. So there can be some very good things happening with regards to this place or this situation, which it's more of a situation with your Astro Clock cards. The Heart with the star and bird is lovely. This is a wonderful conversation. It brings answers, healing. It also delivers on wishes. So it is an all-around very beautiful message. It's definitely an encouragement to have a conversation. And we see that the bird also ties into the right-hand side column where we see the woman and Tower. So it's clear that there's a reconnection with this person, and you're able to talk with her or to communicate or even get together with her. And the Tower suggests that it is that person from the past. So it could have been a while, and now is an opportunity to reconnect. Now, considering the whip in your Astro Clock cards, Virgo, it's very probable that there could have been some challenges that separated you or a disagreement between the two of you, but now there's an opportunity to heal this. The mountain with the anchor and bird is definitely a foothold that you have in that place. It's also a really good combination for overcoming blockages. And again, we have the bird, which is great for conversations and talking things out. So again, another opportunity for communicating. The mouse and star and woman is lovely for overcoming doubts and troubles. And it is very much aligned with the idea that this issue now has an opportunity to heal. And the heart, dog, and tower is another confirmation. The dog and heart is a lovely relationship, and the tower suggests it's a long-term or past relationship. So this is really nice for reconnecting and connecting with this person. I have to add, Virgo, that the heart and dog is often a card of a combination of friendships as opposed to romance. But there's still a good connection here with this person. The mountain with the mouse and heart is, again, blockages or issues. This ties in with the whip. The whip is a bit more aggressive. These are softer cards, but the idea is similar, where there could have been a separation or some challenges in the relationship. And the mouse and heart can also mean doubts and heartache and things like that. So it T-crosses the middle row where we have the star and woman, again, suggesting that these issues you overcome. And the anchor, star, and dog is another very beautiful confirmation of a relationship that works out really well. It T-crosses the bottom row where we saw the heart and dog. So these are some really bright cards that support success, that support healing, and that support a relationship. So it's very clear that instead of a fallout or let go, like we suggested with the Astro Clock cards, it looks like the relationship is saved. Now, I have to say also, Virgo, that the cards can apply for different contexts. It could be a personal relationship, a professional relationship, family, or some other connection in your life. We're not really seeing a specific theme. Often the tower is a card of official things, but the cards apply in general to any context. So let me know what you make of these ideas. I hope this works out for you and resonates for you in these ways. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello Libra, welcome to your monthly forecast. Here we are in October, and I have your October cards from your Astro Clock. These are the tree, the bear, and stork. And even though each of these cards is neutral, they are really exciting because they point to growth. The tree is generally positive, and the bear and stork are more on the neutral side. But all three cards are cards of growth, especially in combination. The tree and bear are about strength. The bear in particular is about a bit more than strength. It's about power, and the stork is about change. So when we see these cards together, we could be looking at a promotion, an improvement, an enhancement of your status, of your profile, of your position in general. So really exciting. It's also a good idea to move ahead with your plans and projects. The tree is more on the passive side, but the bear and stork is active. And so seeing the cards in this order definitely suggests, Libra, that you need to step up to what is ahead and embrace this change, and also embrace your strength and your power. So these are some really nice cards that bring a sense of encouragement and a sense of confidence. Let's put them aside and let's draw your portrait cards to see what else we get about them. Oh, here's the tree again. Oh, that's lovely. So a confirmation of this growth element. So we're going to draw the portrait to see what else we get about these three, but also other messages for your month. Okay, Libra, here is your portrait. It is really lovely. There's a lot of alignment between the portrait cards and the Astro Clock cards. Notice we have both the tree and bear, and we have the ship, which is great for mirroring the stork, this element of movement and change and growth. So the tree is in the center, and it sort of popped out of the deck when I was shuffling. And so we've got a really strong confirmation about this element of growth. I have to say it's also great for well-being. It's also great for health health. And there is an element of passivity that comes with the tree, Libra. And so the idea here is to trust the process. Now, as your cover card, we have the snake, and this is really interesting. The snake is typically challenging and deceptive, but as your cover card, it gives you the powers of the snake. And this is a card that encourages you to be calm and calculated, to keep your eyes on the prize, and also to deal with people in a diplomatic way. And also, Libra, keep your plans to yourself. Now, the tree and ship is great for growth and progress. And so you're up to some really interesting adventures here. Again, keep it under your hat. Now, the coffin with the tree and flowers, this is lovely because it tells us that you had been waiting for the opportunity to move ahead. And this is what we saw in the astro clock. And this is probably also what we see in the first diagonal, where there's this element of calm and waiting and patience. And then we've got the ship here, which is about forward movement. The flowers is about renewal, coming back into action. So very clear here that you are in a transition and are soon going to be back in the action. The snake and anchor and flowers. This is an interesting pair. You might be tempted to give up, Libra. Don't give up. The flowers is going to come to give you the motivation and the as inspiration to pursue your projects and your goals. So these are really nice cards for renewing your sense of happiness. The clouds is a bit challenging. It points to confusion and doubts, but the tree is about calm. And like we said, it's a card of being a bit passive. So it's a really good suggestion here to take a step back, to think about things, and also to assess your commitments, your relationships, which is represented by the ring. And the tree and ring is by itself a really bright combination. It's great for your sense of enthusiasm and your sense of engagement in your relationships and your involvements. And a T crosses the right-hand side column, which is really nice. We've got the flowers and ship. It's great for momentum, for moving forward, and for pursuing these adventures, just like we saw in the Astro Clock cards. Here's another similar idea. You know, we're seeing this, the lines in the left column and how they work with the rows in this portrait. We're seeing a similar parallel with the bottom row. We've got the coffin with the bear and ship, and this could point to an ending here, but then there's this new direction that comes through. So again, there's an element of having to wait or having things on hold before moving forward with the bear and ship. Again, these are cards of power, especially the bear, and embracing this journey forward. It can mean travel. Maybe you're waiting to travel somewhere, which can also be with the stork, but it doesn't have to be the case. The snake with the clouds and coffin, this is definitely about moving away from a situation, letting it go. But it can also mean that you were waiting for it and it wasn't easy and it sort of tried your patience. The bear tree, the anchor tree and bear, here a very strong triplet. All three cards are like anchored. And there's two other cards in the deck that are like that. The tower and the house. And these are cards that are really anchored. So a lot of power, a lot of strength. These cards are definitely here to tell you that you need to have confidence in yourself and that you want to go for this change, this project, and grow. And like we said, the flowers with the ring and ship is lovely for pursuing this direction, for pursuing these ambitions, for expressing yourself and moving ahead with your goals. It's also great for a relationship. Although we're not seeing a lot of people cards in here, it can be good for a relationship. So in the context of a relationship, there could have been some challenges, especially we see them earlier. But these cards here are really promising and they suggest that you can renew this relationship. So the structure of the portrait is really helpful here to help weave the story. So Libra, this is a really lovely set of cards despite this line here. They're very empowering. There's a lot of strength and confidence and a sense of growth and adventure. And you're definitely going to be inspired to come back into action, to move ahead. And we could be looking at things like promotions, improvements, enhancements of sorts, and the encouragement to do that. And with relationships, similarly inspiring and similarly hopeful. Let me know what you make of these ideas. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your Astro Clock cards for October, and these are lovely thanks to the star in the middle. The star is a card of wish fulfillment and all-around healing, and the garden and stork suggests some really happy events, maybe celebrations, successes. And the stork is also great for action and movement, so there can be a positive change or some exciting activities ahead. And with the garden and star, it is possible that you are successful and appreciated for that. You could be popular and you could get recognition for your effort. So there's definitely lots of positive suggestions with this, and it can apply in different contexts. So we're going to draw your portrait cards with the Titania deck here, and we're going to learn more about these 3 cards and other messages for your month. Okay, Scorpio, here is your portrait, and it's really lovely. All of the cards in here are beautiful, and we have some really positive ones, like the key, the flowers, and the ship is quite good in its own right. We have the garden at the top as your cover card, which aligns with the garden in the Astro Clock cards. And in the middle, we have the anchor, which is great for strength and a positive standing. So everything here is really bright. So let's get into the lines. With the garden, anchor, and flowers, this is definitely a message to stick with your current community or environment. And the flowers suggest celebrations and fun, but also success. And the lily with the anchor and key is also really bright. It points to success and positive conclusions. And also, the anchor and lily suggest that you stick with what you're doing. Now, the lily is a card of career and life path, so it does suggest that you're on the right track in general. It is also a card of health, potentially, along with the tree. And, you know, the star being a card of healing, and the key and flowers bring positive messages if you had been struggling with health or just feeling stressed. And these are lovely cards. So a very beautiful set of cards here that point to success and well-being, and clearly encouraging you to stick with what you're doing. The garden with the woman and key suggests a meeting with someone that brings answers. Now, who this person is flexible. It depends on the context. So definitely make time for this person, Scorpio. The tree with the anchor and heart is another very beautiful combination that encourages you to stick with what you're doing. The tree and anchor are about sticking with what you're doing, and they're also a combination for strength. And with the heart, there's definitely a sense of happiness and fulfillment. The lily with the ship and flowers is beautiful. It points to being on the right track, on moving in a very powerful direction here. And the flowers is about success. And so this is very telling of productivity. So your efforts are going to pay off. And it's very nice how the cards build. The garden with the tree and lily is another suggestion for sticking with this environment. You are growing in it. You're maturing in it. You're establishing yourself in here as well. The woman with the anchor and ship is definitely someone who's going to help you pick up and move forward in this direction. She's someone supportive, and T crossing at the top row, we have the key. So a very supportive connection here. And the key, heart, and flowers is just another combination for success and happiness. So really, these cards, Scorpio, are broadly positive in every direction, in every line. They bring success and well-being. The key message is really to stick with your current environment, with the current situation. They're great cards for a relationship as well, where things are growing, where there is connection and trust. So there can be some really good times here if it's a personal relationship. And it could be in another context as well, like your work, your projects. And in this sense, it sounds like you are engaged in a certain community. You could be out in the market. You could be establishing yourself in it, and you're doing really well. You're making, if you're in business, for example, you're making good sales. If it's about networking, you're making good connections. It's really productive and fruitful. And so hopefully this month, Scorpio feels really, it feels really fulfilling and very productive, and also just, happy across the board. I certainly hope you resonate with these ideas, Scorpio. Let me know how these cards played out for you. As always, I look forward to your feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your October cards from your Astro Clock, and these are pretty. They are great for money and investments. We have the Clover, which is a lucky card. The Fish is a card of money, and the House is a card of home. But with the Fish, it is often a combination that suggests assets, investments, but it can also suggest well-being, a sense of luxury, and also doing well on the job, or maybe you're running a business or a home-based business. So anyway, the House and Fish are interpreted. The Clover certainly brings a very positive energy to this triplet. So let's put these cards aside and let's draw your portrait. Let's see what else we get about these first three and what other messages we get for your month. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your portrait, and it's so bright. There are so many bright cards. We have the Star, the Key, the Clover, and Flowers. All of these are really bright. In this portrait, we're seeing a relationship through the man, and we're seeing the Stork and Mountain here. This can mean a place abroad. I have to wonder if maybe you're looking at basing yourself abroad, or maybe having some kind of outreach. The Star is your cover card. It is a card of hopefulness and having faith in your ability and your ambitions. And it is also a card for healing, well-being, and also wish fulfillment. With the Stork and Mountain, you could be traveling, and it might be a really good thing for you to travel. You could be exploring a place, and it's also a message of going beyond your current boundaries. The Key with the Stork and Book is something similar. Actually, these two are kind of similar in this context. The Key and Stork is a bit like the Star and Stork. Definitely gives you the green light to explore. Now, the Book is a card of the unknown, so it's definitely a good time to dig in and to go beyond. So the Book and Mountain, they're kind of closed, and we see them at the end of the lines. And we see this encouragement that comes through the Star and Stork and the Key and Stork. So these are some very beautiful cards that encourage you to expand and broaden your horizons and to get into these adventures. The Star with the Bear and Book is lovely for empowerment. This could also be an important discovery. And the Book can also be by extension of this idea of being associated with knowledge and learning and expression. We could be looking at creativity. You could also be dealing in things like reading, writing, researching, learning. These are great cards for this. But more generally speaking, this is definitely a card of growth. I have to wonder, Sagittarius, maybe you need to learn something or to improve your skills, and that will improve your prospects. But it's another suggestion of exploring the unknown. The Man with the Stork and Flowers is lovely for a relationship. We could be looking at events and activities with this person. And it could be someone who's returning, because the flowers is often associated with an element of return. The Key, Clover, and Mountain is another very bright combination. There's a lot of success, and there are answers in this place here represented by the Mountain. Also, you are equipped to deal with any challenges, and it's also an encouragement to pursue and to go beyond your boundaries and pursue something interesting, something new. The Star with the Man and Key, which T crosses this middle row. So very similar. We've got two very bright cards. It sounds like this person can give you answers or give you an opportunity. So he could help with the, unlocking the opportunity or giving you the green light. And T crossed the Stork with the Flowers. So this could be someone who invites you to travel, who invites you to explore this opportunity. Very supportive. The Bear with the Stork and Clover is another very bright message. It brings success, and it definitely is an encouragement for you to step up and to grow. And you're going to be fine doing this. The Book with the Flowers and Mountain, you could be going to a place abroad or farther from where you are that you do not know yet. And it's definitely something happy and fun, and it does bring a lot of expression and creativity. So these are some really bright cards, Sagittarius. They're active, they're happy, they're fulfilling, they're great for relationships, great for travel. and also great for an improvement of any kind. Now, the astro clock cards are a little bit different, but we have the clover in both, and they certainly suggest an element of empowerment. You could be looking at wealth or improvements or a promotion or some kind of step up in your life. And in tandem, there's lots of good activities, good relationships, and adventures. There is a focus here on it going beyond your boundaries, so exploring and stretching yourself a little bit. So this could be quite exciting. I certainly hope you resonate with these cards in this way, Sagittarius. Let me know what you made of them or how you saw them, and let me know who this person was in your context if you're willing to share. So very best of luck with this lovely month. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your October cards from the Astro Clock, and these are some pretty neutral cards. They bring a person into the picture with the Stork and Road. The Stork and Road points to travel and changes and going places. So there can be someone who travels or who moves forward in a certain direction, and this has an impact on you. Now, it is possible, Capricorn, that the man represents you at times, and the gender is flexible. It doesn't have to be specifically a man or a woman. It could be anyone. And the Stork and Road suggest this change and forward movement. It's certainly a good idea to take action when we see these cards. And perhaps they could be telling you to reach out to a person or to be in touch with them or to do stuff with them. Now, in what context we don't see from these cards, we're going to draw your portrait cards and put the Astro Clock cards to the side, and we'll see what else we get about them and what other messages we get for your month. Okay, Capricorn, here is your portrait. It's very bright. We have the beautiful star in the middle and the key and fish. These are great for money. At the top, we have some challenging cards, and your cover card is a little bit challenging, but there's definitely a turnaround and some very positive outcomes at the end of the day. Now, the dog is a card of people, normally a friend, and so this could mirror the man. And the scythe is the card that could mirror the Stork and Road. So it looks like there's a breakthrough and progress and certainly a beautiful outcome. Now, the cloud as your cover card suggests that you could be stressed, Capricorn, a bit concerned, but the star and key suggests that you are going to find solutions, that things are going to be resolved and you're going to find answers. And I have to say, these are very strong cards compared to the clouds. So the issues that you're facing are smaller than the positive that is on the way. Now, the anchor with the star and fox is also a very supportive combination. The star and anchor suggest positive resolution, a positive conclusion. The fox can be a bit tricky. It can suggest someone deceptive, but I have to say that with the star, it seems to be to your advantage more. So you've got someone clever or you're clever, and it is someone who finds solutions. The fox is also a card of jobs. It's great for work and projects, and we're going to see in the right-hand column that it could be really good for money. So there are some very positive outcomes. So don't stress too much, Capricorn, because things are in progress. Now, this is the more challenging line of your portrait. We have the clouds with the scythe and fox. And actually, Capricorn, the scythe is helpful here because it helps you cut through the confusion. So the clouds is a confused card. It's about stress and tension, especially in the mind. But the scythe really helps cut through this, and it enables you to be sharp and decisive. Now, the fox can mean a couple of things here. We could be looking at a person, and this might be someone whom you need to let go of. And I have to say, Capricorn, that this is also what could be happening here in the Astro Clock cards. In another sense, the fox can be just a situation. It could be a job, and you are releasing it. You are letting go. Now, the dog with the star and fish is great for money. This could be a customer, a collaborator, a partner, or someone who supports you with your finances, or more broadly speaking, with your work, your money, your business, and some other practical things. These are great cards, and actually they are supportive also of this Astro Clock cards. Like I said, the Astro Clock cards are here, they're neutral. They're not positive or challenging. The anchor with the tower and key, this is lovely for long-term success, long-term vision, positive outcomes across the board. And it is definitely an encouragement for you to focus on your long-term goals. So they bring a sense of security and guidance and a sense of confidence. These are some really nice cards. You could land a job, you could land on income, your financial security can fall into place, or your life in general. So they're really nice cards for finding solutions and for being on the right track. Now, the clouds with the dog and anchor, here's a helpful clue. It tells us that you could be having challenges with a person, or you're trying to figure things out with someone, but the anchor is supportive. So if you've got something personal going on with this person, Capricorn, you can stick with it, relax, because things are going to be worked out. The scythe with the star and tower is lovely. This is a breakthrough, and the cards can go in a couple of different ways. It's either that you break off from the challenges that we saw in the top row, because they T-cross, right, at the scythe. So this releasing of a negative situation, a breakthrough, is relieving to you, and it creates some kind of security over the long term. The cards can also suggest that you're releasing something from the past or a past chapter, and this too is freeing. And the fox, fish, and key, these are great for money, income. It's a job with good money. It could also be a customer or collaborator, or someone who helps with your finances, or in these areas in general. So they're great for solutions, for success across the board. They're great for healing and wish fulfillment. And also they are great for releasing yourself from a negative situation. So the cards here in the Astro Clock, this could be someone who helps push things forward, and it could also be someone whom you move on from. It depends on your specific circumstance, Capricorn, because they can go both ways, because it's a neutral triplet. But from these cards here in the portrait, we're seeing some really beautiful messages, great messages for your finances, for your success, and for being on the right track over the longer term. Let me know what you make of these ideas, Capricorn. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your October forecast. We have the tree, ring, and clover for you from your Astro Clock. Aquarius, these are lovely cards. They are great for a relationship. They are great for your commitments, and they are great for a general element of growth and well-being. The clover is a lucky card, and the tree is a card of well-being. It is also a card of stability, and the ring is often a card of repetition. So it sounds like you're in a positive routine and things are moving in the way that you want. And it's certainly good for a relationship. There's obviously trust and a strong connection here. So we're going to put these cards aside, and we are going to draw your portrait with Titania's deck. We are going to deal out 9 cards and see what else is ahead for you this month. Okay, Aquarius, here is your portrait, and it's really lovely. We have the clover at the top. We have the ring and the cards as well. So both of these cards are in there. And we have the dog, which is also a card of relationships, really well supported by the heart in here. We do have the clouds, which is a little bit challenging, especially in this position. It does point to complications and issues coming up and things like that. But in general, there are some really positive messages here. The heart in the middle with the moon and all of the other cards here, the ring, the dog, can mean that this is more about a personal relationship, a friendship, or someone close to you. So the clover with the heart and clouds, this is a combination that tells us that you could be having doubts and worrying about how the other person feels about you. But the clover at the top here suggests, Aquarius, that you don't indulge in negative thinking. And even if there are issues that come up, the overall picture is still really solid and supportive. We've got the ship with the heart and dog, and this is also a lovely combination for a friendship, a relationship that moves forward really positively. There are some activities, some progress. You could be maybe connecting with someone. You could also be doing things like collaborating or doing projects together. You could also be traveling. The ship is a travel card. It's not so much aligned with the tree and ring, but we do have the road and stork in addition to the ship. So you could be traveling or going places with this person. The clover with the moon and dog, another very beautiful combination. This can be an invitation, and there is a generally positive connection here. It could be evolving into something more deep than just a friendship, Aquarius. And the T-cross is this middle column, which is lovely for a relationship. We have the ring and heart, which is very much about a loving connection, in addition to the moon, which has that element of attraction. So really nice cards for the connection. The road with the heart and stork is also great. It points to things moving forward and picking up. And again, you could be going places or doing things together. And the ship, ring, and clouds is similar to the top row because we have the ship and ring where things are moving forward in the relationship. But the clouds does bring up some challenges. It can point to doubts or issues or complications. Again, deal with these as you move forward, Aquarius. They're not a deal breaker or a game changer to the negative side. These are very positive cards. The clover with the road and ship, T crossing the middle row. Again, we're seeing very possible that you go places, that you travel, or you do things together, or that the relationship picks up and there's some wonderful progress in here. And the dog with the stork and clouds is another line that includes the clouds, which brings up some complications as you move forward. But again, it's definitely something you want to explore, Aquarius, even if there is the clouds. See what comes up. And also the tree and ring can suggest giving the relationship a chance. So these are really nice cards, Aquarius, for a connection. There are lots of positive vibes and energies between the two of you. This is worth your time, and you want to also make an effort to do things together. Now, in general, I feel this is a personal thing. Because of the heart and moon and ring, it feels like a personal relationship. But of course, it can apply to other relationships, Aquarius. It could be something with family. It could be something with a colleague or a customer or in another area of your life. There's definitely good vibes here. You definitely want to go ahead with the relationship, do things together. And if there are issues that come up, then, work through them together and also give it a bit of time. Let me know what you make of these ideas, Aquarius. I certainly hope you resonate with this lovely spread in a positive way. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and your feedback. Very best of luck with the month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your October forecast. We have your October cards from your astro clock, and these are the stork, the moon, and the tree. These are lovely, Pisces, for growth. You could also get an offer. There are some positive developments, and there's a positive evolution across different areas of your life. The element of growth is definitely highlighted with the stork and tree. The tree by itself is about growth, and the stork is about change, so it really lifts it up. And the moon is a gentle card that brings offers and appreciation. So you could be doing really well, and you could also be enjoying some good times. It might be a good time to relax, and maybe you're doing some changes that, sort of get you out a little bit of your current atmosphere so that you can take a break. So let's put these cards aside and let's draw your 9-card portrait and see what else we get about them and what other messages we get for your month. Okay, Pisces, here is your portrait. It's a lovely portrait thanks to the star and flowers and also the moon. We also have the tree. So we have both cards in here, and the stork can work well with the rider because they're both active cards. Now in the middle, we have the coffin, and the coffin is a card of endings. And this could be something that you are moving on from, which makes sense with the stork, and you could be wrapping up a phase. Now the star is your cover card. It is a card of all around wish fulfillment and healing. So this is definitely a great message for pursuing your ambitions and following your inner path, as it were. Now with the coffin and letter here, you could be announcing an ending, and you could be moving on from something, letting go. And we see this as well in the second diagonal where we have the moon and coffin, which is definitely the end of a phase. And with the tree, you could be bringing something to a close. So you could be moving on. And it is also possible that the coffin represents a delay as opposed to an ending. So we leave the possibilities for the end. The star with the flowers and tree is lovely. This is definitely a combination of renewal along with the triplet here in the astro clock card. It's sort of similar. The flowers is about blooming, and it's fruitful and productive. It's also a card of success and happiness, as well as fun and celebration. So with the star and tree, these are lovely cards for growth and success. Now, the Rider with the Coffin and Cross is another suggestion for an ending. With the Rider and Coffin here, you could be at the end of a journey, and with the Coffin and Cross, you have to bring something to a close. The Moon with the Man and Letter points to a message or some communication with this person. And a T-cross is the middle column where we have the flowers and coffin along with the man. So it's possible, Pisces, that someone you hadn't been in touch with, you're back in touch with, or there is a renewal in the connection, or maybe you're waiting on their feedback. And we see here that we have the Moon and Letter. And this could be an offer or an invitation. Same with this one, because the Rider and Letter are similar. They're both communication cards. So with the Star and Moon, you could be in for an offer, you could be in for a new phase, and it certainly is looking positive. This could be a work offer, this could be any other kind of offer. Now, the Tree with the Cross and Letter suggests some important news. Maybe you need to assess it carefully. Certainly with the Tree and Cross, you need to maybe take a step back, Pisces, and consider what this offer implies, look into the details, read between the lines, and so on. And if it's about responding, then also take your time, to respond with a lot of intention. So these are some really exciting cards. They do all revolve around the Coffin, which is at the center, which points to an ending. So it seems to me, Pisces, that you are between phases or about to transition into a new start, a new opportunity that seems to be coming through this person. And I do think it's a wonderful opportunity. We have lots of good cards for this. You still need to do some due diligence and make sure that the change and the opportunity and whatever else it implies is aligned with you. So you have to be intentional, and you have to be aligned as you pursue your growth. And it looks like you will, and it looks like there's some really good opportunities here. So we could be looking at the end of a phase and the beginning of an exciting new one. I certainly hope that's the case for you, Pisces. Now, another thing is the relationship aspect. So if this is not about something like a work offer or project or something more practical in your life, we could be looking at a relationship where you are back in touch with someone, and you're in touch with them, and there is contact and communication moving forward. But again, there can be some heaviness, some consideration and thoughts that you are giving this as you move ahead. I think communicating is key, and also you want to be intentional with how you communicate. But it's great for relationships, it's great for creativity, for growth, and it's also great for pursuing your objectives. I have to add that it's also great for health. The Coffin, the Tree can be health cards. We have the Tree in both. And the Man can be like a doctor or a practitioner or someone you trust in this area. And it sounds like you had been either putting some things on hold, or you have to wait for the next steps. But definitely there is a lot of healing through the Star, flowers, and Tree, and some assessments here, and someone supportive who comes into the picture. So really, Pisces, in any context, there is a very positive message. There's a lot of healing and success cards. There is an element of patience, and it seems to be tied to this growth phase. And it is also part of the transition and letting go of a past chapter or what you've been doing into this new beginning. So really nice cards, very supportive. Let me know what you made of them, Pisces. As always, I look forward to learn from you how you resonate with the cards if you're willing to share. Very best of luck with this lovely month. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.